Hello and welcome to Eastern Healing Table. If you have seniors at home who have been taking calcium for years, but still feel little improvement in bone strength or mobility, this episode is for you. The problem is often not about whether calcium is present in the diet, but whether it is absorbed, escorted, and used effectively. Today we will build a complete and practical plan for stronger bones after 60. You will hear about the right calcium sources, how vitamin D, magnesium, and protein work as teammates, which eating habits get in the way, how to design a day of bone-friendly meals, how to repeat a simple weekly pattern, what to buy and prep, how to cook with less salt while keeping flavor, how to handle restaurant meals, the common mistakes to avoid, and a short, actionable summary you can start tonight. Let's begin with one guiding idea: calcium is not a solo player, it is a team sport. A tablet or a single food item means little if the rest of the lineup is missing. Vitamin D opens the door for absorption. Magnesium stabilizes the system and participates in bone and muscle function. Adequate protein provides the building crew that repairs and maintains tissue. Timing matters as well. Across a day, we can create small windows in which calcium is more likely to be absorbed and retained. Our goal is not simply more calcium, but calcium with a clear path, with teammates, and with fewer obstacles. Which foods actually carry this plan? Think in three broad groups. First, dairy, milk, and yogurt are widely available and have good bioavailability for many people. If lactose is a concern, low lactose or fermented options can help. Second, soy and small fish. Tofu is friendly in texture and easy to cook, and small fish with edible bones, such as dried anchovies or canned sardines, are naturally calcium rich. They do require desalting or choosing low sodium versions to protect blood pressure and kidney load. Third, dark leafy greens and sea vegetables: bok choy, kale, mustard greens, seaweed, and kelp bring calcium, magnesium, iodine, and a bundle of supporting micronutrients. A good week combines these groups, so that enough and diverse happen together. Now to the teammates. Vitamin D is the doorman. Daylight exposure is a natural source, and brief, regular sunshine within medical advice is valuable. When sunlight is insufficient, speak with a healthcare professional about supplementation. Magnesium is the stabilizer. It sits in nuts and seeds, deep green vegetables, legumes, and whole grains. Protein is the construction crew. Eggs, chicken, fish, tofu, and other legumes help the body make use of the minerals we supply. The simplest rule is this: include some protein in every main meal. Bring a source of magnesium each day, and touch the vitamin D window daily through sunlight or guided supplementation. What blocks the path? Two things often stand in the way. The first is oxalate, naturally present in certain vegetables, such as spinach and amaranth. Eaten raw and in large amounts, oxalate can bind calcium and reduce absorption. The fix is easy: blanch and drain. Rotate your greens, or pair with protein and vitamin D sources. The second is sodium. Excess salt not only challenges blood pressure, it also increases urinary calcium loss, sending precious minerals out of the body. High added sugar and excess caffeine can also nudge calcium balance in the wrong direction, especially late at night. None of this means you must fear vegetables, salt, or coffee. It means you should use method in moderation. Let's design a bone-friendly day. At breakfast, think gentle and efficient. A bowl of unsweetened yogurt with a spoon of crushed nuts and some fruit gives you calcium, protein, and magnesium in one move. If you prefer milk, keep it simple and add a boiled or soft cooked egg for steady protein. In the morning to midday window, step outdoors for a few minutes of light. If the weather and your health allow, this is your vitamin D moment. At lunch, make a clear soup like kelp tofu or nori tofu to anchor the meal. Add a small portion of desalted small fish tossed with greens, and choose a lean protein, such as steamed fish or quickly seared chicken. Keep salt for the very end of cooking. At dinner, return to tofu, plus dark leafy greens with half a bowl of mixed grains. If lactose is an issue in the evening, choose a smaller portion of fermented dairy or skip it and keep the focus on greens and tofu. The evening rule is simple: not too full, not too salty, so the body can rest and repair, because habits grow from repetition. Let's set a weekly rhythm you can actually follow. On Mondays and Thursdays, make tofu and kelp the theme. Yogurt and nuts for breakfast, kelp tofu soup, with chicken for lunch, and a plate of dark greens with tofu for dinner. On Tuesdays and Fridays, make it dairy plus deep greens, milk and whole grain toast for breakfast, steamed fish with broccoli for lunch, and tomato tofu soup for dinner. On Wednesdays and Saturdays, use small fish as the highlight: toss desalted anchovies with crisp greens. Keep the oil light, and season at the end. On Sunday, practice a reset day: flavors lighter, salt gentler, a quiet palate that reminds you how clean food can taste. Sprinkle daylight across the week whenever you can, or follow your clinician's guidance on vitamin D. How do we cook so that meals are low in salt, but not in joy? Borrow the flavor layering method we used in our low sodium episode. First, build aroma with scallion, ginger, garlic, and a touch of warm oil. Second, Release umami brown mushrooms to a nutty fragrance. Sauté tomatoes until glossy and red, or add a small cube of prepped mushroom stock or kombu broth to lift depth. Third, finish with a small amount of salt, or low-sodium soy in the last minute or two. When you cook tofu or dark greens, add a few drops of rice, vinegar or a squeeze of lemon at the very end. That brightness makes gentle salt feel complete. For small fish, the combination of desalting plus lemon and black pepper is a golden pair. Clear, aromatic, and easy on sodium. Let's make shopping and prep friction-free. In the staples aisle, pick up brown rice, rolled oats, and a balanced mixed grain blend. In proteins, reach for eggs, chicken breast, salmon or sea bass, and plenty of tofu. In produce, load your basket with dark leafy greens, tomatoes, mushrooms, and citrus. In the dry goods and condiments section, choose kelp, nori, small dried fish for desalting at home, low-sodium soy sauce, rice vinegar, black pepper, sesame, and a small jar of unsalted nuts. On the weekend, make a pot of mushroom stock or a light kombu stock. Freeze it in small portions. On busy weekdays, dropping a cube into the pan gives instant umami, and your hand will automatically use less salt. What about restaurant meals? Choose steaming, blanching, teppan, or quick stir fries with modest oil. Ask politely for sauce on the side and lighter on salt. When you order greens, request less oil and less salt. With fish, ask them not to pour a salty gravy over the dish, and finish with lemon and pepper at the table instead. Drink less broth, and if you want to taste, share one bowl among several people. If yogurt or milk-based puddings are available, and you enjoy them, a small portion with low sugar is acceptable within your overall plan. Let's review the common mistakes. First, more calcium pills must be better is not true. Follow professional advice on dosage and form. Second, only calcium matters is incomplete. Missing vitamin D, magnesium, or adequate protein is often the hidden reason why calcium feels ineffective. Third, leafy greens alone will solve it is too narrow. Without blanching, rotating choices, and balancing with protein, you may not get the results you hope for. Fourth, bone broth equals calcium is an old belief that does not match modern analysis. The broth often contains little calcium and can carry a heavy sodium load. Put your faith in foods where the calcium is in the food, not assumed in the liquid. Fifth, if I salt heavily during marination and rinse later, the sodium will be gone is wishful thinking. Much of the sodium diffuses into the tissue and stays. Start with less instead of trying to wash it away. A few details make the plan easier at home. Replace the big salt shaker with a tiny measuring spoon to make the day's total visible and manageable. Create a low sodium corner in the fridge with low sodium soy, rice vinegar, lemon, herbs, and your small jar of flavored finishing salt. Keep your stock cubes ready so umami is always one step away. Agree as a family that salt belongs at the end of cooking, not at the beginning. Keep a simple note on your phone and record the week's favorite bone-friendly dish. The record builds confidence and a personal menu you actually like. If someone in the family is also managing kidney issues, or must limit potassium, adapt the plan with your healthcare team. The low salt principle still stands, but you will choose umami sources carefully. Use broths thoughtfully, and lean more on gentle proteins and aromatic herbs. Eggs and chicken in simple preparations are reliable herbs. Citrus and pepper provide lift without extra sodium. The spirit never changes lower sodium. Better method, and flavors built from aroma and umami instead of a heavy salt hand. Let's put it all together. Effective calcium support after 60 is a system pick. Reliable calcium sources bring vitamin D, magnesium, and protein to the table. Remove the roadblocks of excess sodium and poorly handled oxalates. Cook with layered flavor and salt at the end. Arrange meals across the day and the week so the body has a fair chance to absorb and use what you provide. If you start tonight, choose one familiar dish. Build aroma, release umami, and season at the end. Pair a calcium source with protein and a small touch of vitamin D strategy. Keep the salt light and the flavors bright. Watch how the meal feels both satisfying and gentle. If this guide helps you cook for your parents, or for seniors in your care, tell me which dish you will try first and which trick you found most helpful. Share your experience, and I will select examples for future episodes, where we do bone-friendly upgrades together. For a printable one-week meal pattern and a shopping and prep card, check the pinned comment in the full release. Subscribe to Eastern Healing Table for practical, safer ways to eat with more joy and less risk. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time.